we will study about Chapter 1, Nutrition in Plants. In this module, we will study about what is nutrition, what is nutrient, what are the types of nutrition, what do you mean by photosynthesis, what are the various raw materials required for photosynthesis, what is the site of photosynthesis, and ultimately, what are the products of photosynthesis? As you have studied earlier, all living organisms require some basic things like food, water, air, etc. for their survival. So you know, all living things need food. Food is essential for both plants and animals. Food is a source of energy for the various life functions. So obtaining food and its utilization in the body is called nutrition. Or nutrition can be defined as a process by which organisms take in the food and utilize it in order to survive. The components of food that provide nourishment to the body is called nutrients. Food contains various components which are called nutrients. These nutrients are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, water, which are found in various food in different amounts. Now, based on the mode of nutrition, there are two categories: autotrophic mode of nutrition and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition, auto means self and trophos means nourishment. So the mode of nutrition in which organisms make their food from simple substances is called autotrophic nutrition. All green plants are autotrophs, or you can say the organisms that can prepare their food by themselves, such as green plants, are called autotrophic organisms. They are also called as autotrophs or producers. Now, heterotrophic nutrition. Heteros word means other and trophos means nourishment. So the mode of nutrition in which organisms obtain food from other plants or other animals is called heterotrophic nutrition. Or you can say those organisms that depend upon other organisms for their food are called heterotrophic organisms. Like all animals and few non-green plants are called heterotrophs. They obtain their food from plants or other animals and thus also called as consumers. Now, almost all the plants are green in color and thus they are autotrophs. In this mode of nutrition, we will only study about autotrophic organisms or about plants. Few plants are non-green and cannot prepare their food themselves and depend on others for their food. These plants are heterotrophs and we will study about these plants later. First, we will study about autotrophic plants or green plants which can prepare their food themselves. Now the question arises, how do plants prepare their food? So plants prepare their food by the process called photosynthesis. To carry on photosynthesis, plants require some necessary raw materials. These are chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment found in chloroplasts of cell. It gives green color to the plants. Its function is to trap the solar energy or the sunlight and changes it into chemical energy during the process of photosynthesis. Sunlight. Sunlight is the other raw material. It is the ultimate source of energy which is trapped or absorbed by chlorophyll molecule to carry on the process of photosynthesis. The third raw material is carbon dioxide. The cells of the leaves get carbon dioxide from the air. The leaves have tiny pores called stomata through which carbon dioxide enters into the leaves. The other, or you can say the other raw material is water and minerals. Water is obtained by the plant from the soil by roots and is transported to leaves through xylem vessels. Now, the green plants use these raw materials and make their food. Thus, the process by which green plants make their food from carbon dioxide and water using energy from the sun is called photosynthesis. Where is the food made in plants? Or what is the site of photosynthesis? Photosynthesis occurs in green parts of the plants, mainly in the leaves. Leaves, thus, are also known as the food factories of the plants, as they are the places where food is prepared. Now, the structure of the leaf shows following features that make it a suitable place to carry out the process of photosynthesis efficiently. These characteristics are: leaves are flattened and thin. Leaves are flattened to have a large surface area to obtain maximum sunlight. They are thin to allow sunlight to reach to all the cells of the leaves. They have large air spaces between the cells to allow carbon dioxide to enter. Leaves have a network of xylem vessels that run from the roots to the leaves to supply water and absorb the minerals to all the cells for the process of photosynthesis. Leaves have stomata through which carbon dioxide enter the leaves. Now students, besides leaves, photosynthesis also takes place in other green parts of the plants, like in green stem, green branches, green sepals, etc. A very good example or exception are the desert plants, also called as xerophytes, in which leaves are modified or reduced into spines or scales to prevent the loss of water by transpiration. And thus, these plants have green stems to carry out the process of photosynthesis. As I already told you about stomata, that these are tiny pores or openings present generally on the undersurface of the leaves from where carbon dioxide enters a leaf for the process of photosynthesis. Each stoma contains two bean-shaped or kidney-shaped guard cells surrounding the pore. These guard cells play an important role and regulates the opening and closing of the stomatal pore. When guard cells are turgid, that is, full of water, they bulge out, causing the opening of the stomatal pore. When the guard cells are flaccid, that is, on losing water, they come close to each other, closing the stomatal pore, or stomata get closed by shrinking of these guard cells. Stomata remains open when there is enough light and water. Open stomata help carbon dioxide to enter the green cells in the leaf and help oxygen to come out of the leaf. Now, what are the products of photosynthesis? So if you summarize the process of photosynthesis into a chemical equation, you will find that carbon dioxide chemically reacts with water in the presence of solar energy and chlorophyll to produce carbohydrates and oxygen. Now, these carbohydrates actually is the glucose molecule, which is the simplest form of carbohydrates. It is a simple basic carbohydrate which is used to further prepare various other complex nutrients like sucrose, starch, proteins, fats, etc., which are stored in the plants and are used by the plants for their survival. With this is the end of module 1, Nutrition in Plants.